Admiral, so the U.S. is backing Israel, annihilating Hamas, which is an Iranian proxy. Why isn't the U.S. doing the same thing with other Iranian proxies, like the one in Iraq, the one in Syria, which resulted in the death of the 3 servicemen, and down the road maybe in Yemen? Why is there's not a consistency?
Hamas violated a ceasefire that was in place, slaughtered 1,200 people, basically started this war against Israel. We're going to support our ally and our partner Israel as they fight this war. We are not. Go back to what I said in the beginning. We're not looking for a war with Iran.
And already at war with Iran? Isn't that clear?
We're not looking for a war with Iran.
And can you...
John, I just want to clarify 2 of your previous answers in this briefing. Are you suggesting, in response to the border question, that the president is withholding executive action on the border until he gets the money that is part of this supplemental?
No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that the way forward, the proper way forward, is to get this supplemental passed.
And then, in response to MJ's question earlier, it sounded like the administration has ruled out strikes within Iran.
Jacqui, I appreciate the question. I think you can understand. I hope you can understand. I'm not going to telegraph punches here. We are not looking for a war with Iran. We are not looking to escalate the tensions any more than they already have been escalating. In fact, everything we've done has been designed to try to de-escalate those tensions. That said, this was a very serious attack. It had lethal consequences. We will respond, and we'll respond appropriately. I'm not going to telegraph what that's going to look like.
The question, though, was if you were actively considering targets inside Iran, and your answer was, we don't see conflict with Iran, which indicates that the administration would view strikes within Iran as escalatory. And so is it that the administration ultimately does not hold Iran responsible for these attacks, or that the current level of risk and loss to U.S. troops is somehow acceptable?
I do appreciate the question and the chance to say it again. I am not going to telegraph punches for the President of the United States. I'm not going to get ahead of his decision space and how he's going to respond. We'll respond appropriately. And you're right. This attack had lethal consequences, which these attacks in the past have not had. And as I said in my opening statement, as we work through what those options are, we'll be mindful and informed by the fact that there are now 3 American soldiers that have been killed.
So it's clear, obviously, that didn't work. Does the president have any regret over not punching back harder in any of the prior responses that he's taken to these proxy attacks on U.S. forces?
I think I would push back on the idea that we didn't push back harder. That we have taken significant action against Iran economically. We have certainly taken some additional and more aggressive steps to go after these groups. We're certainly taking aggressive action against the Houthis to try to defend shipping in the Red Sea. I mean, this idea that somehow we've just whistled past the graveyard here and walked away from the challenge that Iran poses just isn't borne out by the facts. These proxy groups have been attacking our troops and our facilities in Iraq and Syria well before this administration as well. And
for instance, Mike Waltz said this morning that when you're trying to play defense constantly rather than punching back in a meaningful way, this blood is on this administration's hands. What is the response from the White House to an accusation like that?
What I would tell you and I would tell the congressman is we're mindful of what Iran's doing in the region, and we have taken aggressive action against these proxy groups and on their influence in the region, and there are decisions yet to come. So let the president make his decisions, let him weigh these options, and then we'll act. These groups have choices to make, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that they make the right choice here. But the idea that we have somehow laid down and not pushed back on Iran is simply not borne out by the facts.